The most dangerous thing you can say is, "I'm being realistic." Because what sounds like wisdom is often just fear wearing a disguise. Think about the last time you talked yourself out of something. A pitch, a conversation, a decision you knew you should make. You didn't say, "I'm scared." You said something smarter, something that sounded strategic. "The timing isn't right. I need more data. Let me think about it." And everyone around you nodded, because it sounded reasonable. But here's what actually happened. You just narrated your own retreat and made it sound like planning. You're typing the message. You stop, cursor blinking, hand hovering. You close the draft. Later, you tell yourself, when it's clearer, later never came. Picture a founder. Product is ready, funding is there, team is waiting. And then they say, "Let's wait for the market to stabilize." Nothing external changed. The market was always uncertain, but something internal shifted. And now that uncertainty has a voice, a reason, a narrative. Notice, nothing external failed. Or think about someone avoiding a difficult conversation at work. Performance review, boundary setting, honest feedback. They tell themselves, "I don't want to demotivate them right now." Sounds compassionate, right? But really, it's avoidance dressed up as empathy. The conversation doesn't get easier later. It just gets louder in your head. You've felt this pause. I've done this. Knew exactly what needed to be said. Rehearsed it, delayed it, and convinced myself I was being thoughtful. This is where people misunderstand the problem. They think the issue is external. Market conditions, bad timing, other people's readiness. You know that story. The one that sounds true enough to stop you. There's a moment in the Bhagavad Gita that captures this exact mechanism. The grandfather of the Kaurava army, Bhishma, blows his conch shell. It's a signal, a display. Everyone hears it. The army roars in response. From the outside, it looks like confidence, strength, unity, power. But here's what's actually happening. It's performance. It's noise designed to convince, not the enemy, themselves. You know when confidence needs announcing. Think about it. Most truly confident systems don't announce themselves. They just move. They execute. They don't spend energy on displays before action. The verse doesn't describe a battle strategy. It describes a psychological tell, the moment when projection replaces conviction. Pause here. This matters. The words you use to justify hesitation become the hesitation. This isn't new. This pattern has played out at scale. Before World War I, European diplomats spent months in strategic deliberation. All very reasonable, all very measured. But really? They were narrating their way into paralysis. Or look at large organizations facing disruption. Kodak saw digital photography coming. Blockbuster saw streaming. Nokia saw smartphones. But realistic became the narrative that justified inaction. By the time the narrative changed, the reality already had. You've done this. I've done this. We narrate. We justify. We frame our hesitation as wisdom, our avoidance as strategy, our fear as realism. And the scariest part? It works. For a while. People believe it. You believe it. Until the moment comes when the reality you avoided shows up anyway. And all those careful words don't matter anymore. You were there, watching yourself say them. The conversation that didn't happen. The decision that made itself. So maybe the question isn't, am I being realistic? Maybe the question is, what story am I telling myself that sounds true enough to keep me from moving? Are you realistic? Or just keeping your fear intelligent? Once you hear it clearly where it's at, it gets harder to keep saying it.